everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands. Today we are taking a look at this really player grade Gibson Les Paul Deluxe from 1974, which does not look like a stock Les Paul Deluxe from 1974, to put it lightly. This is player grade, yeah, to the max, or like it is like a perfect example of somebody that really valued playability and tonality and his own personal flavors a lot more than to keep a guitar vintage accurate or like stock in its original shape, because this is nothing like a 1970s Les Paul Deluxe anymore. But it is a really cool guitar because of that, and therefore also really accessible. Like, this is not very expensive at all as compared to like a stock, or even at like a player grade Les Paul Deluxe that doesn't have all of the work done that has been done to this guitar. So there's quite a lot to cover and to talk about, everything that has been changed and has been altered. So yeah, let's then first begin with that. So first off, the Les Paul Deluxe. I believe first introduced in 1969, I believe. And that was kind of like a Les Paul standard in a way, but then with mini humbuckers. So obviously, in 1968, the Gibson Les Paul was brought back from the dead, if you will. Because there was a lot of demand after like Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton and Peter Green, all of those big names, Keith Richards even, playing Les Pauls. And so yeah, a lot of people wanted to buy a Les Paul, but they couldn't, because the Les Paul was then discontinued in 1960, or like the Les Paul body shape at least. But then they brought back a Gibson. They then brought in the Les Paul Standard, which was then a P90 equipped gold top Les Paul, and the Gibson Les Paul Custom with then two humbucker pickups in a black color. Only those two models were then brought back in 1968, but then later they then introduced the Les Paul Deluxe. I think kind of like to like fill in that gap of yeah, people that or like to satisfy those that were looking for just a Les Paul standard, if you will, with humbuckers. But then they still didn't give them the full-size humbuckers, but they gave them mini humbuckers instead. So I could imagine that would be a little bit frustrating in that time. But yeah, this guitar then also originally came with mini humbuckers. The former owner went all crazy with this guitar and then routed it for not just only full-size humbuckers, but also for a third humbucker then in the middle position. And he then also came up with his own unique wiring scheme. Pretty sure that the hardware is also then replaced. Definitely the strap buttons, but the bridge and the tailpiece also look particularly shiny. So yeah, again, total player grade. Oh yeah, and also a refret, because these are some really big frets. Yeah, the specs that these would then come with, or that this one still has, apart from the changed pickups, is then a pancake mahogany body. So this is also very much early 1970s style, this being from 1974. The body is then made up out of like 2 layers of mahogany. So maybe you can see that, but there's a line going through the middle of the back of the body, which is then called a pancake body. That is what people began calling it a little, yeah, I'm not sure when, but these are then known as such, as pancake bodies. So there are 2 layers of mahogany and then with a thin layer of maple in between, in order to save costs, to make it more efficient, to make more guitars, because then you do not need to find like big good pieces of mahogany. You can just take thinner pieces of mahoganies and then just glue those together, which is then what you would see on this guitar as well. Still, you still then do got a maple top, but then also a 3-piece maple top in this case. So no more, so no 2-piece tops in this era. Mostly, there are some exceptions, but those are rare, because again, also more efficient, cost saving. And yeah, also a telltale sign that this is from the early 1970s. We do got a really nice burst going on the top, like a cherry sunburst finish. But then also then on the back you also got a burst going on that mahogany. So that's also a unique look that you'd only, or that you would find in the 1970s. So that is what they do have in common with like the original Les Paul, so a mahogany body and a maple top, but then also not the same way. But let's then start talking about what is going on here with the pickups and with the wiring and such. So again, obviously changed humbuckers or routed for humbuckers and then routed for a third humbucker, but these are some really great humbuckers because we got some bare knuckles. So bare knuckle in the neck position and in the bridge position. These are some really high-end, I believe, boutique humbuckers that you can also get today, but they are very expensive because they are really high quality made. Then in the middle position you've got an original T-top or a T-top humbucker. So this is a type of a humbucker that you would find on a Gibson humbucker equipped guitar in the 1970s. Not entirely sure which years specifically, but these are quite hard to come by, and these are also quite but they are also quite desirable. So this pickup in and of itself is also worth quite a bit, and it also has quite a unique sound in and of itself. So yeah, that is really cool. I believe they even make reissues of the T-type humbuckers at Gibson in like new models. Obviously black plastics now instead of the cream. So we've got a black poker chip here on the switch, and then a black pickguard, black pickup rings obviously. Pretty sure that the hardware here is also then replaced because again, very shiny and very new looking, but an ABR1 bridge. So we are still dealing with a true ABR1, not the Nashville Tune-O-Matic bridge, but an ABR1 bridge. So you got the post drilled directly into the body as opposed to the bushings first put into the body and then the post put onto that, and then just a stop tailpiece. The controls. So let's just start off with the bridge position. We have got your bridge humbucker and your middle humbucker on at the same time. But you can then also change that because you've then got a volume control for which is pretty normal. So this is a volume and a tone control for your bridge pickup. Think that this is like a master volume control. And then this tone control here, which normally would be a tone control for your neck pickup, is now a volume control for your middle pickup. So that is also like true for all of the positions. This is not a tone control, this is a volume control for your middle pickup. So in the bridge position you then get both on at the same time, but if you then roll this one off, so the middle pickup, you just get your bridge pickup. Then in the middle position you've got then all three on at the same time, or you can then like change it up, like you can just get your regular like neck and bridge pickup on at the same time. You can get just your middle pickup, like your neck pickup and your middle pickup, I think. It was a little bit confusing, but I'm pretty sure that I'm getting it right now. So there's a lot of tonal variety in this guitar. And then in your neck position, you then get your neck pickup and your middle pickup on at the same time. And then again, you can then turn the volume of the middle pickup down, and then you just get your neck pickup. So pretty sure that the middle pickup is on always, but you can then just roll that back. But in all positions it is wired so that it is on. This switch right here does absolutely nothing. So that is the seller that we got this from. Said it was just some added mojo. At some point I'm sure that it did something, but now it does absolutely nothing. So it's just there for show. If you wanted to remove that, you could, but we're going to leave it up to the next owner of this really cool Les Paul Deluxe. Output jack over here on the side. The plate has definitely been replaced because this is definitely not a Gibson style plate from that time. Moving on to the neck. That is then a what appears to be a maple neck, pretty sure, or maybe a 3-piece mahogany neck. 1974, is that maple or mahogany? This kind of looks like mahogany, but I will put that over here if I'm wrong. I'm just going to say that this is mahogany, 3-piece mahogany neck because of the wood grain, but because you can definitely see those 3 pieces, so a piece going through the middle and then on the sides. So also definitely a cost-saving feature that they introduced in the 1970s at Gibson. As for the profile, it is quite slim, not that big of a neck. Nicely rounded though, but definitely on the slim side, and quite a fast playing and feeling neck. Also feels a little bit flat, but just plays really nicely overall. Obviously then on the back you do got some honest play wear, some nicks and dings and some scratches, but the finish is overall holding up pretty nicely. The fingerboard is made out of rosewood with your trapezoid pearloid inlays or acrylic inlays, and the frets have also definitely been replaced because these are some really big frets. They are really nice though because they are really shiny and they're relatively new feeling. So you do got a lot of mileage left in these newer style of your frets. Then the nuts does appear to be replaced. I'm guessing some sort of a new bone or tusk material, but it is just installed pretty nicely overall, so no complaints there. And then your headstock with your Les Paul decal and your Gibson logo done in mother of pearl, and your Deluxe trussel cover there, because this at one time was a Deluxe. It still is the Deluxe, but obviously changed a bunch. And then I do believe that these tuners here on the back, not too sure if these are original. I'm guessing not. They look a little bit too modern to my guess, but they are Gibson Deluxe Clusen style tuners, and they would just do the job really nicely. Last thing to mention, also comes with a hard shell case, not original, kind of like a little bit of a molded case. Not sure what brand it is, but it just does a really fine job at protecting this Les Paul Deluxe. And this being from the 1970s, it is quite heavy, coming in at 4.7 kilos, so not crazy. Modern Les Pauls can also be that heavy, but this is not the lightest guitar, but it is still manageable in a lot of ways. So if you don't mind that, or if you really like heavy style of Les Pauls, then this is a really cool guitar for you to consider. I think that is all pretty much that there is to cover to this guitar. Maybe the condition, obviously also this being so heavily modified, it also has just play wear all over. Like this was definitely somebody's gigging machine, so you've got scratches and nicks and dings all over this guitar. Also then got a filled in hole over here where there once was another switch, I'm guessing. Also then on the back, on the sides, edges, bunch of wear going on, but nothing concerning. Like this is all just from playing, but no breaks, cracks or repairs. The neck has never been broken, so that's nice. Definitely anything but mint, anything but collectible condition, if you will, in that sense, but a really cool guitar nonetheless. So that's pretty much all that there is to cover to this really cool and very much player grade Les Paul Deluxe from 1974. If you want a really cool vintage gigging machine with some very unique tones and some very unique specs, really cool Les Paul for you to consider. Really cool guitar, also just sounds really great with those pickups, those quite rare and quite high quality pickups, and then also with those unique tones. That is quite cool. So let's then take a listen to that and let's then hear what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this 1974 Les Paul Deluxe, in this again very much player grade condition, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of very cool vintage electric guitars like these, or acoustic guitars, bass guitars, even all that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's see what this 1974 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe, heavily modified one, sounds like. Going to be playing it through this late 1970s Fender Pro Reverb, and let's then hear what this heavily modified machine all has in store for us. So let's then move on to that part and let's then take it for a spin.